the recording. I don't see anybody in here tonight on this. I'm not sure if I fully understood on it, but I'll have the recording out there for you to look at. However, listening to the recording does not get you out of the discussion. Listening to the live session does get you out of the discussion. With the collaborate sessions, I actually talk with y'all live, and that y'all can type in the chat window. Once you look on the right side of the screen, there's a pull-out menu there, and the chat's the first one with the little balloon. And you can type things in there, questions or comments. Then you direct them just to me, or you can direct them to the whole class. I think typically the students just direct them to the whole class. And then I respond to those as we go along through. It's just like in a class setting. Sometimes you may have to wait a minute till I finish what I'm on, and then I'll pause and answer the question. So you can post those at any point while I'm talking, and then I catch them as I go. And that I answer all types of questions on the stuff. I also do a little bit of discussion on the chapters. This time I'm not going to do as much for the simple reason that I don't have my book with me tonight. So I'm a little limited on what I can do because I'm having to go from just the lecture instructor's notes that come for the instructor. So I can do a little bit of mentioning on that, but beyond that, I can't look at the book. I forgot to bring that book with me. I've got my other books here with me, but I didn't. Apparently, when I left the school on Friday morning, I left the Windows 10 book sitting on my desk because it's not in my car. So I'm in a motel in Atlanta. I'm attending AWS cloud training, learning about how to set up their academy and educate programs, which we can use for materials to teach about cloud. The state is adding a curriculum for cloud in the networking area. I'm in charge of developing that curriculum, which is the reason I'm here. And the reason I'm in charge of that is that I'm probably, of the technical instructors in Georgia, as far as I know, I'm the only one that has cloud certifications. And I also have AWS, I was going to say foundations, principles. I believe it's principles. Their bottom level certification. I have that certification. I got it last summer. I took their academy course on it last summer, instructor training for that. I'm scheduled to take another course this summer and probably some more. And we'll begin offering that as soon as that option comes on. It'll be another specialization in networking is our plan right now. And our plan now is to put in 4 AWS courses, although we're going to try to make the standards generic as we can so that instructors can use other programs. If we put it in at this point, I'll start off with AWS at least. Each of the courses actually will correspond to a AWS certification. So I'm going to be working on the next course on that quickly now. We're meeting more on it tomorrow. Actually, in the morning, we're meeting on curriculum and about the academy program. And then they're going to do a little bit of training in the afternoon tomorrow. I'm going to be here for a little bit of it. And then I teach for Chattanooga State on Tuesday nights as an adjunct up there. And so I've got to get up there as the day goes on by. So I'm off campus today, off campus tomorrow, and Wednesday, I'm in Leadership Catoosa. The college put me in that program, and we're going to the Capitol to visit the legislators and the governor, and we leave at 6 o'clock from Ringgold from the Colonnade Wednesday morning. So I'll get home late Tuesday night, and then I've got to be there at 6 a.m. We'll ride school bus down to the Capitol. We're supposed to be back by 5. And then I've got church normally on Wednesday nights. And then I've got a collaborate session with one of my classes tomorrow night, or Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Normally I do these during the day on Monday, except for today. I actually did from the motel this morning an 8, 9, 10, 11, 4 sessions this morning. Normally 3 in the morning. I usually do a 9, 10, and 11. And then I do a 1 and 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but I was in the meeting training this afternoon. So that left that one out, those two out. And so one of them I moved to 8 a.m. today, and the other one I put 8 p.m. on Wednesday. And I put y'all tonight intentionally because my classes that I've had all semester that I set them up normally on a Monday to Monday schedule. Your class is set up on a Friday to Friday schedule. That's the way Ms. Hopkins had it, and I'm going to stay with that way. And so if I waited till Wednesday, that would be just before you had to turn stuff in, where today gives a few more days on it. But in chapter 5, you're going over user management. You're seeing how to set up your user accounts and how to set up groups. And groups are just groups of users. It's where you find users that have similar permissions, etc. needed. And so you can put them in groups, and that way you don't have to set those permissions for each user account. You set it for the group, and it applies to the user. And then if the user changes jobs, you just move them to another group. Actually, what you do is you take out the group they were in and put in another group that they're now in. And so they teach you about how to create and manage those accounts and also how to work with user profiles. You'll be amazed the number of things you can keep out there about individuals that are your users. It's much more than just usernames and passwords and groups, that you can get addresses, phone numbers, I think birth dates, it's just about anything you would want to put out there. And actually, I think you can add on a few more things to it. And then they talk about on dealing with the authentication methods of building on that some. Let me scroll down real quick. Y'all can't see this, but I can. I'm looking at the teacher's manual to have an idea of what's covered in the chapter. So then they talk about authentication methods. And they mentioned passwords is the most common one out there, but now you've also got picture passwords, pins, and all of you have either used pins or watched people use pins because they get used particularly for debit cards and for ATM machines. And then they mentioned there about biometric authentication, and they talk about Windows Hello. I'm not sure if Hello still exists, but biometric authentication continues to grow. That's where you can have machines that do fingerprints. Some of y'all have laptops that do that. Some you've got machines that will do eye authentication that look at your iris and match to see if that's the same iris. That's more neat than fingerprint. You've got some others off of that too that could confirm biometric. Face scans is another one. They mentioned about Microsoft Passport. That one didn't ever catch on real well. I'm not sure if it still exists out there also, and that's where they had it was basically where Microsoft kept up with your logon on it. And then talk about smart cards, that you could have cards you have to put in and do that one for it. So that's an option there to do on it. Another one is that you've also got where they will do the two-factor authentication, where you do one thing you put in, and it's college. We're doing two-factor now for our office, Microsoft Office stuff. Don't think y'all are, but I know we are. So we have to put password in, and then it texts us a code that we have to put in. So it's something we know and something that we have. Password we know, and then it sends it to our phone. And so we have the phone, and so that's something we know, something we have. So then you've got some more stuff off of that. and you have to be careful about caching credentials because you really don't want to do that. All right, that there is more or less what's in the chapter. And one other thing I am going to add in chapter 5, I teach this class once a year, and I've got notes in mind. I have done all of the assignments through the book, and so I've got notes that I put in my classes that tell students where there were problems I encountered, errors in the book, or things that just didn't work quite right, or whatever. And sometimes it's based off of what students have fed back to me also. Because remember, Windows 10 is continuously updating. So the book was written for the original Windows 10, and that has been updated a number of times since with some major updates, so there's changes to it. So I will post out there in the assignment my notes, and I'll say Dr. Watt's notes, and I'll tell you on the activities things that I have found you've got to do something different or that's incorrect there. So hopefully that's helpful to you. I'm not sure next week what time I'm going to do this session at. As it currently stands, I've got sessions scheduled on Mondays at 9, 10, 11, 1, and 2. I usually go to a ribbon cutting, new member recognition type event for the Catoosa Chamber on Mondays that I'm supposed to be there at 4. And I try to limit these to 1 hour or less. Sometimes they're much shorter. This one will be a shorter one. I do record them normally sometime. And if you're attending it live in the future and you don't see the little record button come on in the upper left corner, let me know so that I'll start recording, because sometimes I forget to record. And then the recordings are out there in Collaborate soon after it ends. And then I'm going to get them uploaded to YouTube and put a link in on the menu to video recordings and collaborative recordings or something to that effect title, and I will put them there. The thing on those versus the other, the ones sitting in Collaborate are not closed captioned. When I upload them to YouTube, YouTube will close caption them. So if you use that one to link to it, it is closed caption. And as you can tell, these are videos. So you get to see me and get to listen to me, and then sometimes I'll go to a live screen and show you stuff live also, depending on what we're doing and what we're working through. But in the next few days, I'll figure out what will be the time we can do it next week on. I'm just not sure where in there to put it yet. I may put it at noon on Monday, or it may stay on Monday evening, but I'd really rather not do Monday evening, because I'd like to have an evening for myself. Tuesday nights, like I've already told you, I'm teaching over in Tennessee, actually in Kimball, and if any of you are not sure where that is, it's west of Chattanooga, right below Mont Eagle, just after you get in Central Time Zone. So the class over there is actually 5:30 their time, 6:30 Eastern Time. And then Wednesday night I normally have church. And so I'd rather, if I can, I'd rather not do it on Monday evening, but if I have to, I will. And I've done these in the evening in the past, but when it was one evening a week and when I wasn't doing the other teaching. So we'll see. Just for y'all's information, I do have an extremely full schedule this semester, so I am going to be sluggish on grading some stuff for y'all because I'm behind, and then I keep getting hit with these things like some trips and trainings and etc. that I'm having to do. And so I'm trying to catch up on the grading. I will get it caught up along the way, but I am behind on it at this point. I will tell you that. If you have questions on anything, please contact me. I try to answer emails back real promptly. Most semesters, I typically answer them back all day long. This semester, I've got classes on Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday in the morning from 9:30 to 11 at Walker. I do the for Cisco course. And then from 12:45 to 2:15, I do the same class over at Whitfield Murray. And then I got to drive between the two campuses and obviously drive back in the afternoon. Because actually I stay in Lafayette, so that's closer than from Dalton. So I work at Walker most of the time. I do have an office at Catoosa, but this semester I'm not going to be there very often. So Tuesday and Thursday, it may well be Tuesday's going to be real iffy on getting answers from me. I will check emails in the morning before I go to class. I do try to check them between the classes, but I don't have much of a break there. I'm supposed to be a lunch break in there, but so far it has not worked for me to get lunch at all. That by the time I get out of class, students sometimes have questions after class, and then glance at email and answer anything that's important right there. And if there's anything from students, I am definitely going to look at it and answer it. And then drive over there. That it's almost time for class when I get there. That's usually 12:30 or after. And then when I come back from that, I've actually worked a full day at that point. But I do answer on into, and in the case of Tuesday, I drive on over to Tennessee. So by the time I get home on Tuesdays, it means it's like 11 o'clock. This Tuesday, tomorrow night, I don't think I will be answering any emails when I get home because I've got to be up there at the Colonnade at 6 a.m. So that means I've got to be up before 5 a.m. or about 4:30 a.m. on Wednesday morning. But I will get to them on Wednesday night. I may be able to answer them some in the bus going down. But Wednesdays normally, this Wednesday's exception, normally I am answering them all day while I'm grading stuff. Same Monday, I'm normally answering them around the collaborate sessions. The sessions end early, I answer them. Here on the trip, I actually answered emails all this morning and actually did answer them some this afternoon. I had a break class and was online because I needed to do something that they had us doing in class, working with AWS. And so I am going to check email. I haven't checked them tonight. It's pouring down rain here in Atlanta, which according to my phone, it is up there in Northwest Georgia also. And it's cold rain, which will be the same up there. So I got supper when I was coming home from class at 5 o'clock or after 5 and home to the hotel. And then I've been in the hotel room and then I've worked on a few things. Went back out to the car to see if my yearbook was out there. So tomorrow I've got all of that going on. I may have a chance in the middle of the afternoon, depending on when I get to Tennessee. The other one is I'm watching to see if there's classes at both schools tomorrow, because I just saw that most of the school systems around Chattanooga and Northwest Georgia, up there near Chattanooga, I don't know about down towards Rome, are all closed tomorrow because of flooding. And I've seen a little bit of that down here. So we'll see what happens. And if that turns out to be the case, if Chattanooga State closes tomorrow afternoon for tomorrow night, then I won't have to drive over there and I'll work on stuff from the house. But do write me. I do answer emails on the weekends. I'm normally on there during the weekend. I'm normally on there in the evening at night, and that I try to get back to you immediately. School policy says I should get back within 1 business day. But with this schedule like it is right now, I might not quite make it this week. Really, my intention is normally on school days that I try to get back within an hour or two. You can also call me if I'm not there. Leave a message. The message will come to me on email besides being on the phone. You can come by my office. Generally, I should be in there on the mornings on Monday and Wednesday, and usually on Friday morning, but I won't be there this Friday morning. And on Wednesday afternoon. Tuesday and Thursday, I'm not there. So, but if you're going to come by my office to see me, I would encourage you to email me first so we make sure I'm going to be there. because I do also wander out on the campus sometimes. I have meetings come up sometimes. But if I know you're coming by at a certain time and we agree on the time, then I'll be in the office waiting for you. But I'll be glad to also help you via email. And same thing goes for registrants. We are approaching that now, because that'll be the second week of March. And so do keep in touch with me. If you're working on stuff and you work on it for about 15 minutes and can't figure something out that you're doing, email me about it. You can keep on looking for it. But send me an email, because it may be something that you're just totally overlooking. That's a possibility. Two, it may be something peculiar's done, or that there's been a change, or something's gone on, and that I can help you with it, and you can move on and be much more efficient with your time. So keep in touch. And we'll do this again next week. And I don't know what time yet, but we'll figure that one out as we get on to that point. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. And then I'm